Okay. Awesome. So I will start with the first talk. Thanks again for attending here to the first meetup from Mission Minds. And I prepared the talk basically over the weekend, to be honest, because I had some troubles to find actually speaker. So, but yeah, it was a perfect opportunity to hang in and learn more about LangChain, how cool it is. And I hope that I can transport a bit this experience and that it looks super promising. And yeah, so but I don't want to tease that too much. So, and because I'm more like an AWS guy, so there I feel very happy to run stuff in AWS all the time, doing it for my clients. And yeah, so why not run your AI LangChain on AWS? So, and I want to take you on that journey. So my name is Martin Müller. So then who am I? So I'm just moved very recently here to Portugal in February with my family. My wife is Brazil. She never enjoyed it too much in Germany. So, and she is just amazing. We really love the country. We love the people. We love the food, and we love the location. It's really awesome. So we live like a little bit outside Lisbon, Costa de Caparica. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. It's really cool. So definitely not regretted that. And yeah, I studied computer science back in Germany there, and playing around with AWS since 2017. Did a couple of certificates there, and yeah, now I get more and more requests from potential clients. They would like to know how to run the AI stuff with AWS. So and yeah, so why not like combining that, with that meetup and see how you can actually do it. So I would say myself more like as a DevOps person, full stack engineer there, but gladly extend that to get more AI knowledge there. And yeah, 2 little children, like 3 years old and 8 months. So it's a really, really nice time, really lovely time. Short the agenda. So I just want to explain short what is LangChain. And actually, if you have any question, please feel to interrupt me or even correct me. That's the best way to learn. Yeah, if someone corrects you, so that's always the best. And feel free to interrupt and ask questions. I prefer this kind of format. Second topic: why run it on AWS? And then I will give a LangChain demo. So I hope the demo god will be good to me. So I didn't record it before. Maybe I should have done, but I should be fine. And at the end, I will do some reflecting and give you as well some time to ask some questions. So yeah, disclaimer as always. As I said, I'm not a data engineer and an ML expert. I'm like identifying myself more as a DevOps full stack person. Yeah, but I have the learning mindset, and I love to look in new areas. And I had so much fun with LangChain, so super looking into getting some clients who want to do some stuff with it. So if you're one of those, would be cool. And yeah, still LangChain is still super new for me. Just looked at it like for a couple of weeks. But I guess it's a lot the case because this project is not that long around when what I see there correctly. So it's super early anyway, but it's super promising in my opinion. And why that is, I will explain more in what is LangChain actually. So what is it at all? So I think really from myself, it's a really cohesive framework for interacting with multiple LLM models. So it's a really cool abstraction on top like MMLs like OpenAI. And it gives you like on top of it, really like it extends the possibilities you can actually do with LLMs. So I think it's kind of really interesting direction where we are going. If you think like some years back, I guess but again, I'm not an ML expert. You trained your model with your specific data, and then you could solve this particular use case, right? But nowadays you are going more to this broader models like LLMs, yeah. And even on top of that, you get stuff like LangChain on top to do even more with LLMs, as you could just do only with them by themselves. So I think that's really exciting. So in its core, it's really a library you can use They support different languages. That's pretty cool, I think. I mean, sure, the most favorite one is Python. I mean, that's usually where data engineer, this is the main language, data engineer and machine language. But what I super appreciate is they're supporting other languages as well, like JavaScript. I think Golang I think I saw Rust, and that's really cool. Yeah, so I think it's widely see kind of affection for engineers to start it, to give it a try. Yeah, if you not just have a Python there. And actually, the demo, I will not go too much into code, but it's actually in JavaScript, or be more precise in TypeScript, because that's where I feel more comfortable. But could be have the same in Python. So it makes not too much different at all which language you use there. And yeah, so how it does extend the possibilities is really that it brings in some really cool features here, which I even show in the demo. So one feature is like the sequence chain, where you can chain together LLM calls, yeah, in a really cool way. I will show in the demo in a bit. And this would even work across multiple LLMs. So I just use OpenAI in this case because it was the easiest one. But you could use a different one. And it's really easy to do with this TypeScript, with this interface here, programming interface. And I think the nice concept of a memory, it's really cool. Normally you have some persisting state, like the conversations with the LLM, yeah, and yeah, you can persist that, you know, and have it in an abstract way. And I will show this as well as a demo. I used AWS DynamoDB. It's an NoSQL database store where I used it for persist the conversations there. So this what I show in a bit. And I think agents are a really cool feature as well, where you just start to that the LLM kind of makes decision by itself and can execute some actions, yeah, to get some informations. For example, I think they support out of the box like an agent plugin for mathematics operations. Yeah, so you say, hey, because LLMs still have some problems with it, yeah, why not just use a plugin, yeah, or an API call to a mathematics API. So, and or what as well, I think they have a Wikipedia plugin as well, where you like can directly speak to Wikipedia, yeah. Or imagine you want to get some flight data which are more currently. So you can do this with agents. I think that then. And really recently, I saw about those vector machines, and this is a really cool idea how you can train your LangChain with your specific kind of company data or with your data you have. So you're not kind of forced to learn the model again, because you cannot do anyway with OpenAI because you don't have access. But with those vector machines, it's a cool, smart way to extend the capabilities there. So yeah. So, and now, why you should run it on AWS? I mean, why at all? So, yeah, so let's face it. Yeah, your laptop is not production ready. Yeah. So you don't want that your customers, or you cannot run your laptop. I mean, you could, but it's not so reliable. Run your laptop like 24 hours and expect that it's processing the request from maybe one customer or 10,000 or whatever. Yeah. So you need some sort of external service to run your AI app on it, yeah, and therefore it could be AWS. I mean, sure, there are a lot of alternatives, right? There are other clouds you can run on, or more like second-level clouds where you, yeah, can run it as well. And on top of that, I think AWS offers a nice kind of different service packages which you can relatively easy integrate in your AI app. For example, the DynamoDB I'm using for the memory there in the demo later, or if you need a relational database for storing your business data or something, or your data at all, they are really good in how to operate that relational database for you, so that you don't need to do so much operations. Yeah, they have the maintenance and how to update the versions, read replicas and all that stuff. You know how to scale it, and so it's really good with that. And yeah, sure, like on S3 bucket, it's just like a space where you can store some objects there. Yeah, so that's really your cloud front where you want to host your website or something like that. It's super good as well. Let me check. I think I hear this. Okay, same call. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so that's it so far. Any questions over that? I think I will dive into the demo. That's the demo part. So I kind of like to work with diagrams because it makes it a bit more easy understandable, or it's a nice abstraction as well for how like complicated code is working. So what I'm just doing here, I'm just spinning up two lambdas, which are basically two different prompting I'm doing here. And lambda itself, in this case, it's a function URL, so it gives you the capability to send direct requests to your lambda. You don't need something in front of your lambda like an API gateway also. I mean, that is quite AWS specific. But yeah, so what is just in the end is you're sending a request to the lambda and get some results back. Yeah, and the second one too, and user memory. And a bit more detailed. So the first lambda, what I want to do is I want to do the sequence chaining here. So the first prompt, I want to ask OpenAI, I want to open a restaurant for a cuisine. So I can put like Italian, Spanish, or German food, and then it will suggest a fancy restaurant name for me. And I want to take that output into my next prompt. So suggest me some items for that restaurant, which the restaurant name I got before. Return it as a comma-separated string. So that is where I'm chaining those two prompts. Yep, I'm chaining them. And I will just go to that directly before I go to the second one. Did I show? Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. It's publicly available, this example. Yeah, so on my GitHub account, and with that API, I can post it later as well. AWS AI LangChain. I put the presentation there as well, and to say why not? So can get it from there, so that's totally fine. Okay, that's the wrong. Okay. Don't want to show code right now. So that is the repository here, and I will run the first lambda, or send the first request. So I will put. Is this okay? Yeah. Okay, awesome. You can already see the request clear. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm sending a request. I'm sending a request to my lambda, where I give it, it's a post request actually, where I give it just the name of the cuisine I want to get back. So, and let's do that. So it will take some seconds because we have a cold start now. Lambda needs a bit to start up, to warm up. It shouldn't take too long. Yeah, awesome. So we get back the first result. Here you can see the first prompt result. That's the restaurant name, which is suggested is the beer house. And some menu items, typical South German foods, which I'm not too much familiar actually. We're more from the north. So, Bratwurst, Platten, Bavarian, Brezel, German potato, Schweinshaxe, sauerkraut, and so on. So, and yeah, so that's already the first one. Let's go to the second. And this time I attaching some memory to it. Yeah, so the prompt itself is more simple than before because I just need one here because I want to show that the memory is stored in DynamoDB, and when like after some days or whatever the lambda gets requested again, I could potentially get the whole conversation and put this back into. I mean, you maybe want that for chatbots or something like that. So I basically have the same prompt here where I just ask for the name of the restaurant. So. But yeah, this time I take Italian. This is the first call. Takes a bit again because it's Lambda needs to warm up because it's another Lambda in this case. This response is a bit longer. You can see again the Mangia Magnificio, the restaurant name. And what I did put as well in the response is just the shared history, right? You can see that I asked it for Italian, and actually what it answered here. So that's the part. So yet now I will ask it again, but this time I think I take Spanish. Let's ask it for Spanish cuisine. Faster, it should be. And now you can not just, you can see the previous as well. Because keep in mind, Lambda is stateless, right? So it's not storing the state there. So you need to put the context somewhere. So, and this is what I'm doing here with DynamoDB. So it's again, what's the Vino Espanol? And this is the first conversation we had with that user Martin. I forgot to mention I'm session. I put the session index for my username. So in this case, it's Martin, the user. And yeah, that is the first conversation we had. And this is the second one here. So yeah. That's it. Okay. Yeah, that was basically what I wanted to show. If you guys not mind, I hope I'm not, I can go a little bit through the code. So as well, is the infrastructure as code. I really like that DevOps idea. So you write your code and have like your reliable resources you get in your cloud. In this case, it's AWS. You can use it for other clouds as well, usually. And this is like the other definition what I want to have on AWS. You know, I have my secret, where I store my OpenAI key later then because I still need the OpenAI key to work with OpenAI. Then I just define my Lambda here. In code, I say, okay, what is the max time duration? Give it the variable name of the secret name so that the Lambda itself can get that secret out of the secrets manager there. And yeah, then later just give it some rights here so that it can access the secret manager and access that secret and nothing more, you know, really like last privilege here as well. And then as well, for the second Lambda, I'm defining my DynamoDB table here, say my partition key, so in this session ID is user, what you saw before. So that can I get my items when I give the username there. And just again here the Lambda itself. So, and yeah, giving the Lambda some rights there. Yeah, so that's about the stack. And the Lambda itself is kind of just a few lines as well. So I'm just like make sure when I make a request to the Lambda that's it's a post, right? Yeah. So we say it's a post, otherwise you don't accept that. Gives otherwise it's 405 back. As well, I want to have this cuisine property in the request, yeah, in the payload. So otherwise I'm mad with you. And yeah, just getting the OpenAI API key out of the secret store. And now here starts LangChain actually, yeah. So I initialize OpenAI as my LLM. I mean, I could use other ones as well if I wanted there. I give it a temperature like 0.7. I know how creative it is. And then I just write down my prompt there. I have those input variables. And then define the other chain, the other prompt as well, where I get back the menu items in a comma-separated string. And then later I say, okay, now combine those two, sequential chain, combine those two, separated, and give me that back, like what we saw in the first run. Yeah, and that's basically it. Here's just some cleaning because putting out some white spaces and new lines. Yeah, and just giving me back the result here. So, and it's like super similar is for the other lambda. Yeah, just checking here if it's a post. Yeah, if you gave me the cuisine property and the user property, right? Because this time I want to have a username there as well. So the OpenAI key. And here now, I think that's really cool. LangChain already has a class which I can use to connect DynamoDB here. Yeah, just say I want to DynamoDB chat message history. That is a partition key, and this way the session ID is just then the user. And that's it. It was super easy. Yeah. So, and I don't even need to know because it's running on Lambda. It has already the permission to access DynamoDB. So it was super easy. And here again, then this OpenAI LLM, the prompt, and just running it gets the history and put as well here just what we saw that we can see the shared history directly. Yep. Okay. Good on time. Yes. So that's basically it. Just some reflecting. I think LangChain is super cool. It's fun to work with it. It's a nice abstraction on top of LLMs. I'm pretty sure you will encounter problems, limits, because it's still quite early. Yeah. So, but they have a great Discord community. Reach out there for help. It's even cool. They have even like a bot which helps you. Yeah, like a trained bot, and you can ask questions and gives a really good response. I think it's trained with the LangChain community data there or whatever, and with the docs, and so it's really cool. And because it's so early, it's a perfect opportunity to contribute. Yeah, if you see something what is not working, but you maybe need in your context, why not contributing? I think that's how those open libraries stay alive. You know, they're dependent on people contributing to it. And yeah, I might be able to do that because I encountered that the DynamoDB sort key isn't properly implemented. And if I run into that use case, if I needed more, I mean, at the moment it's fine because an DynamoDB item can store up to 400 kilobytes, and that is a lot of characters. So far it's fine. But if you reach that 400K kilobyte limit, you really want to look into DynamoDB sort case and leverage that for the memory. But yeah, it's good to have a use case. Yeah, I mean, at least I like to have a use case before I start contributing or anything. Yeah, that's basically it. If you need any help with your AI workloads, feel free to contact me. Yeah, and join the Discord, as I said here. Super happy to have you here. Thank you very much. So yeah, we have any questions? Oh, yeah.
Well, is there any way to use it without having to go through OpenAI?
I mean, yeah, you can use other models, LLMs. Like I think Lambda is quite a common open one. Actually, it's even a kind of nice alternative because it's more open. Because API is quite close. So yeah, totally. So it's not forced to use OpenAI or. Yeah.
I guess my concern is when you have proprietary data that you don't want to share with another company.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I think yeah, those vector machines are really interesting to look into to get your company-specific data into it, or you do it more the old-fashioned way and train your model yourself. I guess. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But yeah, it will be interesting how that goes because now if you take a bet, like if you do those models domain specific or those general AIs get more capabilities and it's get more and more easy to get your specific data insight into it. Like with those vector machines, they're looking interesting to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Doesn't AWS have sort of large language model that they're offering as well?
Yeah, it's probably I don't know too much about that.
But, step to the side and I'll make sure.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, what this feels, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but it feels like a really light wrapper or abstraction on top of those LLMs. So I feel I don't need too much have ML expert just to use those library here. Yeah, I mean, it's just calling an API. I don't need to train my model here. You know, I guess what you usually do is like PyTorch or TensorFlow or something like that. I don't need that here. And I think that's really, really cool, so that it kind of makes it more accessible from people coming from other backgrounds, perhaps. So, and kind of perhaps other discipline, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
How much it costs?
Yeah. I mean, Lambda has a super generous tier, free tier. You can in a month have like 1 million calls for free, Lambda. Yeah, and DynamoDB is like super cheap as well. So I would wonder if you have any costs so far. Sure, when you have like, if you scale higher, then yeah, it will. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good point actually. If you call the Open API, yeah, Open AI, of course that will require costs, and that really depends on what you are sending there, because those conversions, those chains, it's like 2 requests, those 2, yeah. So you have 2 requests there, and when you do the memory as well, if you have like a big memory, you have multiple requests there as well. I think each memory entry is like one request, if I'm not wrong. So, but they have like a cool feature where you have like a framed memory, yeah, a window memory, where you just say, hey, I just want the last 5 conversations or something like that. But yeah, that's a good point. It really depends exactly what you're doing. Yeah, and I guess the costs are quite different from LLM to LLM, I guess, and it's getting cheaper. I mean, I guess like OpenAI, the turbo model is okay, I guess. It's not so expensive, but if you have an API key for the version 4, I guess. I don't.
Can I answer his question?
Also, wait.
Doing extensive GPT-4 with fairly large, like, filling the context window, and it's about 4 to 10 cents per request. Well,
wow, it's a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
3.5 is 10x less expensive, but once you use GPT-4, you kind of don't want to survive it.
Yeah, welcome. Other questions?
Well, have you played with Code Interpreter? It feels like it does a lot of this.
Oh, cool. No, I didn't.
Oh, so OpenAI
Yeah.
and everything.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, send me a link maybe later. It would be interesting to see. I kind of like that it's a bit more agnostic, I guess. You're not like dependent on OpenAI. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of feel that whole, like,
Yeah.
use your own data and
Yeah.
your own model and
Yeah.
have to share it.
Totally. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. Woo.